is really harmful for your health. Cast iron pan. These will rust. The moment I find that the coating is not any good anymore, I am going to throw these out. Those won't be safe to cook our food anymore. Hello fellow Momo Sapiens. So if you have clicked our today's video, I kind of know why you're here. Because some time back I was where you are. There is a lot of confusion about what cookware to use, what utensils are harmful for our health and which ones will impart nutrition to our food. So we thought that it is high time that we make a video in which we tell you about all these different utensils that you can use to replace your non-stick. Now when we say replace your non-stick, we don't mean that just go into your kitchen and throw away. We're not here to scare you. We're going to give you the facts. And okay, but if your non-stick is absolutely rubbed off the vessel, the coating, then I think you should go ahead and throw it out. But what we are slowly trying to replace are these old so-called non-stick. Look at this. Look at what has happened to my non-stick cookware over time. And this is after using wooden and silicone spatulas. So this is something that we want you to replace. Now you will ask me that if you want us to replace, why have you still kept your utensils? So I'll tell you about what these ones are used for now later in the video. But let's look at some of the utensils and their benefits that you can use if you replace your non-sticks. So the first thing that we want to replace is this non-stick pan. Flat non-stick dosa tawa is what we call it. Why? Because you can already see there are a few scratches in the pan, and I don't know if you can see this, there's a ring surrounding the edge of our pan, which is all grease and oil. And this, you cannot scrub it hard enough because then you lose a non-stick coating. You are going to harm your pan. So this is something which is not good. Now this time, every time you heat up the pan, this boils and bubbles up, which is not good for your health. So this, what you can replace with is this type of pan. You can use your metal spatulas on this. So another thing that I want to make very clear is that no brands have affiliated with us, and we are not promoting any brands. You can find this kind of pan in a lot of brands available online or in the stores, and you can go for any one of them. The benefit of this pan is that you can use metal spatulas, so it's user friendly, and there are divots. There's like ups and downs and a nice texture to it. It's not just for design or like a show, but this actually has the non-stick part on the lower end, and the metal ridges that poke up, they don't poke up, but in a microscopic level you can see that. So that protects the surface, the non-stick surface, when you use any kind of spatula. And this is tri-ply. This is a thick pan, so there's even heating in this pan, and it's easy to clean. The other thing I would suggest for making chapatis, I've seen a few people using non-stick pans because they bought an entire set of non-stick cookware and there was a roti pan in that. So we would request you to go old school and get an iron pan for your rotis or chapatis, for your everyday breads, flat breads that you're making. This is the best option. It doesn't require any special maintenance. So that is what you can do with the pans. Now the next thing that I'm going to talk about is something that I would really recommend, and I would really appreciate if you can get it from somewhere But if you can't or if you don't want to after listening to what I have to say, it's completely understandable. So this is my bronze uruli. Uruli is a traditional South Indian vessel. Just like a cast iron pots and pans, these are also cast making a mold in mud and then hot metal is poured into that. So this is like one solid structure and it has footrest. So you can just place it on any surface without worrying. And this, inside this, the silver that you see is actually tin. It's tin plating, which is also called kalai. The only reason that people have stopped using this is that we don't find a lot of artisans who do this tin plating anymore. Previously, when our grandmothers used to have all these brass and bronze pots and pans, there were people who used to come door to door every so often to do the tin plating. But now you have to go to the old part of your city and find that person. But if you are really willing for your health or for your family's health or just for the sake of this beauty, please do go and support these artisans and find these people who still do the kalai, because the benefits of cooking in this are immense. I don't mean the urli, but cooking in bronze vessels, 97% of your nutrition of the ingredients that you're using is retained by these vessels. And I am not kidding you, when I cook in this vessel, it stays warm for at least 3 to 4 hours. I don't know how, I don't know what. I just keep it, and I'll keep any other like a non-stick vessel or a stainless steel vessel. But this one will retain the heat and the food will still be warm after 4 hours when I go to eat. So you don't have to reheat your food. The only thing, this is similar to your cast iron pots and pans, you cannot cook citrus if you do not have the tin plating. That is why I have the tin plating, so that I can cook my tomato gravies and tamarind and whatnot. I make rasam in this, I make sambar in this, and I make Punjabi gravies with tomatoes in this. So this is very versatile if you have a tin plating. If you don't have a tin plating, then the inside will also look like this, which will be bronze finish, and then you can use it for making sweets or desserts or dals. If you're not adding any lemon or any tomatoes in your dal, then you can use this vessel. Otherwise, you can use this for making dry vegetables like potatoes and cauliflowers and ladyfinger and everything, okra. So this I really recommend if you can. I do absolutely understand if this is a bit too much work, but this is the best utensil to have out of all that we're going to show you. The next and the most controversial cookware of all is aluminium. Now we have seen this in our houses for a very long time. We have been using these pots and pans for a very long time. But the studies now show that aluminium is not really good for you. We are not going to go into the detail, and you can do your own research and you can decide whether you want to continue using them or not. We have done our research, and from that what I can tell you is that you can use this for deep frying. If you are making anything that requires a lot of oil and deep frying, then this is the vessel that you can use. The other thing I use this is for making boiling rice. When I have a lot of people coming over for dinner or something and I don't have a big enough utensil, I can use this aluminium vessel, because rice, the simple steamed rice or boiled rice, would not have any citrus in it. If you cook this with something that has citrus or acidic or something that is acidic in nature, then this is really harmful for your health. But I do have these aluminium pots and pans that I do use from time to time, but only to make stuff that does not have any citrus in it. The other thing with aluminium, the other thing that you get is this. You must have seen pressure cookers and pans and pots made out of hard anodized aluminium. This I use for making my curries and vegetables, but you cannot use a metal spatula in it. This is not a non-stick coating, but it will still wear off. I'm not sure if you can see the marks, but this coating too will wear off over time. So this is also not very recommended, but this is still in a pretty good condition, so I haven't thrown this out yet. The same goes with my other non-stick pots. I've had these for 10 years now, at least 10 years now. My mother got these, and you can see it, the color on the outside, the coating is now wearing off, but the insides are still pretty okay. So I use this for light cooking. If I'm making my instant noodles or something small, I don't know. I don't use this for heavy cooking which takes hours, like chicken or mutton curries that would take me about more than an hour, and that requires long durations on the heat. I do not use these because these aren't meant for that kind of cooking, and that is why I think they have survived the time that they have. So, but the moment I find that the coating is not any good anymore, I am going to throw these out. Those won't be safe to cook our food anymore. Now, to replace this really worn off, oh god. So to replace that, I have these. This is my tiny cute one, and this is the functional one. This is also functional, but for one person. So this is a stainless steel kadhai, the stainless steel pot, but it is all clad. So what does all clad mean? It means that the outside, the two outsides and this inside is stainless steel, but on the inside there's aluminium. Aluminium gives you even heating, and otherwise what happens is with those thin stainless steel kadhais that you buy, you'll see a lot of scorching and burning. Even while cooking and afterwards while cleaning, that's very difficult. This one is really heavy. This one is heavy, so it doesn't burn. And because it doesn't have a sandwich bottom just as the base, this is really good for cooking. It doesn't burn at the edges, it doesn't burn on the center. This is really good, both of these. Very heavy, very sturdy. So these ones have replaced my everyday cooking along with my traditional pot. Now I do not use my non-stick pan in every day. Now the other thing that you should have in your kitchen, or if you are looking to replace your non-stick, or if you're just looking to buy new cookware, this is something that you should have in your kitchen, and this is a cast iron pan. Okay, so this entire thing is made out of solid iron. It's very heavy and very sturdy. So you can use this for deep frying, you can use this for making your pizzas, you can use this for making your parathas, you can use this as a tawa and a kadhai because it is flat but it has flared sides. So this is something that is very versatile and it gives you iron. It adds iron to your food. We are not nutritionists, but we have read studies online that says that using cast iron cookware actually adds iron to your diet. So don't overdo it. Never overdo anything. So don't use this like for all your meals. And also the thing with this is that you cannot use citrus or anything with acidity, say tomatoes or tamarind or yogurt. If you're making your vegetables in this, if you're making your curries, don't use tomato based curries. Don't cook your tomatoes in this. You can make dry vegetables like potatoes or cauliflower or anything like that, but mostly you can use this for making dosas, parathas, pizzas. So this is one versatile pan that you should have, and I have this in 3 different sizes because I love them so much. They take a little longer, like 2 minutes probably longer to heat up. And oh my gosh, the biggest one is like, I can use this for weightlifting, which I should. Yeah, so this is my set of 3 cast iron pans that I use. The biggest one I use for dosas and pizzas. The smaller ones I use for deep frying stuff and making vegetables or parathas. But the only thing is, these require a little maintenance. After you are done using, do not use soap. Use a mild scrub. Get all the gunk off of it. Then heat it up again on your fire. Not a lot, just so that the water element after washing evaporates. These will rust. But you see mine, I have had these for years now and these haven't rusted. So what you do is, after and I went with Amazon Basics, if you can see, and after it has dried up, you just take a kitchen towel or a tissue paper, take some oil and rub it all over. So when you rub it all over, that is called seasoning. Over the time, this will become non-stick. It becomes smooth. You don't have to use as much oil as you have to on the first day of buying it. And the other thing is, that layer of oil, that coating of oil prevents rusting, prevents moisture from getting in and reacting with her cast iron. So that is the only thing you need to do. And if that is too much for you, you get these pans, the same pans which are covered in ceramic. So this, it's not a pan, but I have this pot, this beautiful heavyweight pot. Again, takes a little more time to heat up, but once it heats up, all these pots and pans, they retain the heat for a very long time. So you can actually save on your cooking bill if you have a gas stove, because once these heat up, you can cook your food on a very low heat. So this, like you can see, on the inside and on the outside, it has a ceramic coating. So this actually is non-stick. This doesn't require seasoning. You don't have to oil it. You just clean it, wash it, just like you do. Just make sure, if you're using a dishwasher, if this is dishwasher safe, if your seller says this, that this is dishwasher safe, that is a mouthful. So look at the beautiful color. I've had this for a very long time now, and this I use for all my roasts and curries. And the lid also is so heavy that no steam escapes. So if you're trying to steam something, this is the perfect pot. Or if you're going for slow cooking, then this one is a must-have in your kitchen. So this actually, if you can see here, this is the cast iron bit that you can see on the side here. I'll show you. This is the cast iron and this is the coating. You don't have the cast iron here because it will rub off with the lid and break off anywhere. So this is the iron which is covered in ceramic. Both this and the pan are made out of the same material. We'll go to the next. So another kind of tawa that I do have is not actually mine. I borrowed this from a friend of mine. He prefers this kind of tawa. This is again hard anodized aluminium, light in weight but still very sturdy. The handle is very heavy, so you have a good grip. But what invariably happens with this is that things do end up sticking sometimes due to our own fault. And maybe we have a very high heat, or maybe it's not hot enough. But you never know. Sometimes things do stick to it, and you cannot use a rubber spatula or a silicone spatula or a plastic spatula because it just won't get it out. And it do end up using a metal spatula or giving it to your maid to clean, or something will go wrong. And then this, over time, this coating gets worn out. So this is good when it's new or whatever, if you are very good at caring for it, but I do not like this type of pan. The next thing that I'm going to show you that you can have, should have in your kitchen is this. This is a stainless steel. It's called a pestosa pot. Forgive my pronunciation, this is of Italian origin. And it has 3 components. So this is the basic lid, and the second one is this inbuilt strainer that goes straight into our vessel. This is a beautiful pot. This was gifted to me 10 years back by Nidhi herself on my birthday. And so what you can do is you can fill it up with water, you can boil your pasta and just lift this strainer and you'll have your pasta and your pasta water separate for cooking. You can steam vegetables, boil vegetables, you can make rice in this, you can do a lot of things. And you can just remove the strainer if you don't want it. And you can use this pot to cook your spaghetti sauce, to make your curries, to make other dishes, whatever. This is a very versatile pot, again made out of stainless steel and Italian origin. So beautiful gift, I still cherish. So the next thing we have, very important for Indian cooking, pressure cookers. Now as you can see, the 2 pressure cookers that I use for daily wear, both of them stainless steel. I do not use the aluminium ones because I am someone who cooks my dal entirely in pressure cooker. From point A to plating, everything goes in the pressure cooker with the tomatoes or tamarind or whatever it is. I do not put it out in a pot or a kadhai. So for me it is very important that it is not aluminium, because if it is, then I cannot use it and I'll have to make 2 utensils, which is a bit too much in the morning when you are rushing for your work. The other thing that I do have, aluminium pressure cooker, but this is 7.5 liters. It was gifted to me by a friend, and this I use when I have guests over. But this is something that I'm looking to replace because again this is aluminium, so I'm restricted to what I can cook in it. Another thing on my agenda to replace is this handi, a beautiful handi or a sipri as we call it. I use this for boiling rice, but again this is aluminium, so I cannot cook my gravies in it. So we do get a bronze or a brass pot, handi, sipri. That is next on my agenda to replace this one. But this has served my family for I don't know how many generations. It's really old. Now the last bit of the video, why do I still have this? I use this for steam because apparently my bamboo steaming basket, another thing that you should have, fits very snugly. It's like the perfect fit, and I can add a lot more water in here so that I don't have to worry if I'm making things in 2 or 3 batches that the water beneath has emptied or evaporated completely and my stuff is burning. So that is why I have this still in my kitchen. I do not use this for daily things. And as to the other one, this one, invariably there are ingredients for which you do need non-stick, and the other stuff is just very inconvenient and messy. So this one is whenever I make anything with sago, be it sabudana khichdi or sabudana vada, this is the one that I go to. Now sabudana as it is not very nutritious, it's just there to fill an empty stomach. So this I am guilty as charged, but I use this to make my sago dishes in this. But as you've seen all of these utensils, I do get your concern. I do understand that a lot of these utensils can be very expensive, and it is outrightly outrageous to expect you to just throw all of your existing utensils that have aluminium or some non-stick coating to just put them out in the trash and go buy new ones. Even I don't do that. When I heard of things and when I was concerned about all these chemicals in the non-stick and cooking in aluminium with citrus, I did go out and did buy all these things, but one at a time. Whenever I could afford, because also I wanted the best. I wanted a tri-ply coating for my pots. I wanted a non-stick pan that was sturdy and heavy, in which I could also use a metal spatula. And those things cost us more than all these regular things. So that is expensive. It will hinder or hamper your budget. So you have to plan for it, but do plan for it. I hope this video has been helpful and it has solved a lot of your queries. And if we have still missed on things, please do let us know in the comments. And if this video has helped you, do share and subscribe our channel. That will really help us. Thank you. Until next time.